How's it going, guys? Welcome back to HorrorVision Episode 3. We've already took a look at a classic Edison film that has been lost and now brought back to mainstream. And we looked at a classic kids show from the 60s. Now let's look at something I've been dreading to do. Let's take a look at the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. God, I was dreading it. The Doctor of Cabinet Caligari was released in 1920, and it actually has the Mad Magician Caligari, who looked like a guy who stole Mickey Mouse's gloves, controlling the sleepwalker Caesar, and actually kills people that he seeks vengeance upon. This is a classic tale of a monster that, well, is being controlled by somebody. It's been done to death in most of the Mummy sequels nowadays. Well, not nowadays, but back then in the Monster Mash era. And, I mean, what else can you explain? Anything with hypnotizing a creature to do other types of bidding has been done to death countless times, but this was one of the originals. And the Sleepwalker Caesar is kind of scary looking. And I mean really scary looking. I mean, he actually looks quite terrifying, as well as, I mean, if you look at him in the pictures, old pictures, especially like when he actually first awakens, he actually looks very disturbing, and that's due to the fact that the makeup design of this creature looks very off-putting. And not only that, the creature actually speaks. He could tell you, like, your deaths, like the day that you die. It's very disturbing to talk about, and even the world itself has become contorted, which was pretty bizarre. The world itself is nothing more than things being bent at very bizarre angles. I mean, look at the like freaking like windows. They're anything but square. And it's very interesting, too, that the actual Sleepwalker Caesar falls in love with a girl. This might be one of, if not the first, Beauty and Beast stories in horror film history. And that's surprising to say because, I mean, it was a brief moment and the walker died, like while trying to climb up the mountain. Yeah, not a pretty sight. The Sleepwalker Caesar is pretty, like, I mean, he's probably one of the most classic monsters of all time. It's just, he hasn't got enough footing to be like that. I mean, he could have had a very, like, interesting ending that could have been changed. Like, he falls in love with the girl, but then Caligari was like, this is disgrace. You should not let this happen. Like, put her back where she was or kill her off. And then Caesar would actually not obey his master, Dr. Caligari, and just strangle this guy. Which is interesting because, I mean, this movie is pretty scary looking. But the problem that I have with it is the ending, which I'm not going to give away for you guys, because if you have seen the movie, then you probably know about the ending, and it kind of confuses me because I don't really know much about it. And if some of you guys who don't know about it, I'd rather look at the movie yourself to see how confusing it is. I still don't get it, and all I can know is that it takes place in a mental ward, and that's about it. There's nothing else different that I can talk about. I mean, the storyline behind Caligari controlling the Sleepwalker was very interesting, and even the way the Sleepwalker just stares at the camera, and especially, well, the characters were pretty bizarre. And even with her falling in love with a woman was quite terrifying because, like, does the woman remind him of his wife, like his old wife or something, before he died? It's so weird, like, because I never knew what a sleepwalker is, mostly. I'd rather have to look that up, to be honest. I shouldn't have done this right for this review, but I just wanted to get this out quickly, and I just wanted to tell you guys that this monster is pretty much one of the best monsters. It's just the movie isn't my favorite, which is pretty much a disappointment. But I am going to be talking about a favorite, which is probably the one that you've seen on the trailer. And trust me, we are going to be talking about that monster We're going to be talking about him tomorrow. Definitely tomorrow. You know, this was a lot easier. And I'm talking to a jack-o'-lantern. Who am I kidding? It's October. We all go a little mad sometimes.